Griffin.
All right, and we're live. Welcome to Cappuccino Cunnilingus episode 7. If you're listening to this on YouTube, episode 6 was banned worldwide, as it was told to me, courtesy of Warner Brothers. It was a little interesting thing we were doing last time. We decided we wanted to do a movie commentary track to Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
And then we became public enemy number 1.
Right? Like
we became the prisoners.
We're slaves to the system, man. But yeah, that once we figure out exactly what's going on with that, we disputed the claim, so hopefully that'll be going back up within the next 30 days if Warner Brothers decides not to respond. If they don't respond, it goes back up and we don't have to worry about anything. So
yeah, it's going to be difficult though, because brothers always fight, and like reaching a general consensus is just going to be difficult.
Well, the thing with them is that they're such a big company that they'll probably just scroll through like a whole bunch of shit and just delete like all of the claims because they don't have the ability to process every single one individually. Like, they don't have somebody that sits there and goes, all right, what's going on with this one? And then say yes or no. They go through it. They either say yes to it all or no to it all. There really isn't much individual fighting between it. And if they do send me a cease and desist letter, I'm going to frame that thing because that would just be amazing to have.
Yeah.
So episode 7. What have you been up to since we last encountered?
I was mostly training and then hanging out with my family. Like the day after 2 days after we hung out, my family came, and I was with them until they left last night, because they didn't really plan to do much, so they were around the house. So like, I would go to the gym for maybe like 2 or 3 hours a day, but then spend the rest of the day hanging out with them.
Any new things you were doing at the gym? Like different routines or?
Oh no, but I fucked up my dick today when I was doing a snatch.
You fucked up your dick doing a snatch.
Yeah. I just realized that, yeah.
You are a special kind of stupid, sir. For those of us that are not literate in weightlifting and CrossFit, what is a snatch, essentially?
Okay, so a snatch is pretty much you get into your deadlift position, but you're going to have, you want your knees really pushed out, and you want to have a wider grip on the bar than you would have for a deadlift or a clean or any other lift. So you have a wider grip, and your knees are pushing against your arms, and then you're going to basically deadlift it, and then from your deadlift where it would reach your hip pocket, you extend your hip, pull the bar straight up, not out like a lot of people. A lot of people think that CrossFit isn't safe, and that's because people don't learn how to do snatches properly. I know. Yeah.
Learn how to work your snatch.
Yeah. So when you go out rather than up, you're putting a lot of weight away from you. You're losing your support when the bar. The reason why you deadlift and the bar is supposed to be against your legs is because you're using your body to lift that weight. So when you push it away, that puts a lot more stress on your body to be able to get under that bar. So a jerk is where you have a bar in the front rack position, which is basically right across your collarbones, and you dip with your hips and push your knees out, and then you drive that bar up, but you jump under it.
Okay.
And that's how you catch it. And with the snatch, you're supposed to pull it up and jump under it, not force it out and get under it.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
It's supposed to go straight up as opposed to a curve.
Yeah, exactly. So it goes straight up, and you go under it, like, similarly to how you would with a jerk. And, yeah, when I went to explode out of the hip pocket on the last one of this pathetic set, felt really bad about it. It's probably because I felt really bad about it. I was way too in my head, and when you're doing an Olympic lift, you should not think at all. It's supposed to be explosive, so it's like... Mm-hmm. Anytime that you're thinking, that takes away from your ability to execute that properly.
Yeah.
So, like, I wasn't satisfied, and I wanted to get through them because there was only a few seconds left, and I wanted to be able to get at least one of the handstand push-ups in for the second round. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, got to my hip, and my dick hit it. And
the bar or the...
The bar.
The bar.
And it was real painful. And I kind of just, like, went to the ground. Like, I finished the lift. But then I dropped it and I sat on the ground and for about 5 minutes.
Oh boy. That's crazy, man. Note to self, don't fuck around with snatches anymore. Just does not seem to be your forte.
Actually, my one English teacher that I had senior year.
Okay.
No. We went over, one of our vocabulary words was fort, like F-O-R-T-E.
Mm-hmm. Forte.
No, that's the thing. Forte is pretty much the same meaning, but it's specific to music pieces. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're talking about music, it's your forte. Mm-hmm. But anything else, it's spelt the same way.
But it's fort?
But it's fort. And every motherfucker says forte for everything, but it's really fort. And how weird would you'd sound like the uneducated motherfucker saying, yeah, this is my fort. And they'd be like, you mean forte? Actually, no, bitch! But, like, you'd feel like, if someone didn't make that comment, they'd probably be thinking, this motherfucker doesn't know what he's saying. It's like, you just don't, man.
I have to run that by my English teacher next time I see him. My old English teacher, I should say. He's a cool guy. I want to get him on here.
That'd be cool.
If I get a chance to head back up that way anytime soon.
No doubt.
I'd love to have just a panel of my old teachers and just pick their brains and figure out like what exactly was going on when they were teaching the classes I was in, and just trying to figure out like did they get like what was going on, and were they just trying to focus on like getting the curriculum out there?
Yeah, that'd be interesting. But how would your teachers feel about the name of this podcast? That's the real their names being affiliated with.
We would work something out. I'd probably not give away their real names. We'd probably use aliases and.
Okay. That wouldn't be uncommon for an English professor.
Yeah.
Because writers.
Yeah.
Mark Twain wasn't his fucking name.
No, it makes me feel weird because I bought that art piece for when we get the studio. Oh my god. But yeah, specifically my old English teacher. I'd love to have him on. But yeah, just working out and just eating good shit and...
Yeah. And I'm training my one dad's friend. Mm-hmm. And about 3, but I'd like to do 4 times a week. Basically, I think it's great because people are like, because he'll be like, we're doing sissy workouts, but he's sore as fuck. And it's like, bro, like, what do you want me to have? Like, I can only do so much for you right now. We got to build a base. Like, one exercise I had him do was go on, like, I wanted him to have a kettlebell in one hand, and next time I will say, don't use your arm, and I'll make it 25 instead of 50, but I was like, I want you to get up and down off the ground 50 times.
Holding a kettlebell?
Holding a 15-pound kettlebell. I want you to get up.
From laying down or sitting down?
Getting into a sitting position and getting to a standing position.
While holding a 15-pound kettlebell?
Yeah.
That sounds really easy.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Not really.
It's fun.
Oh my god.
Because think about it. Like, what's a better way to judge your strength other than getting up off of the fucking ground? How many times can you get up off the ground before you're like, whew, I'm winded, and now add some weight to that.
Yeah. Like, just thinking about, like, at Warped Tour, if you fall down, like, in the pit, you have, like, a second and a half to get up, or else you're going to be trampled by everybody else that's running around with you. Mm-hmm. So picking yourself up off the ground, like, and carrying stuff with you, like, that would be something good training for that. Like,
yeah, we'll think about life. Your grandmother, she falls to the ground. I forgot. Yeah, like you'd live with your grandmother. I didn't think about that. I was being like a metaphoric grandmother. She falls to the ground. If she doesn't she has to get herself up. So why not condition yourself to get up?
Get your body weight
that's
up.
real. Like that's real fitness.
Yeah,
that's a functional movement.
It's applied fitness,
yeah,
as opposed to just fitness for health.
Exactly.
It's applying what you're learning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been having to do something like that, and then we do some other shit. Yeah, and then I'm just looking for a fucking job, man, because there's nowhere hiring around here. And the one place that does, they're gonna take 2 weeks to tell me anything, and they're gonna drug test me. No, and it's just not gonna work. And like, if it was a place that like I really wanted to work at, yeah, you know what, I would. But like, I would only be working there until I could find, like, that would be just a bridge to hang on, like something to keep
something
me here.
To keep you occupied until you find something you really want.
Exactly, until an opening happens somewhere. So like, I know this is gonna sound lazy as fuck. I don't want to jump through hoops for that when I haven't looked in Vero yet. In Vero, like, I keep doing this stupid thing where it takes 15 minutes to get to downtown Melbourne. I mean, it's not downtown, sorry. Fucking Starbucks, like Ocean Ave, or whatever, Ocean Drive, whatever the fuck it's called.
Ocean Avenue, where I used to sit and talk with you.
Yeah. So like, they're right there, like before, like the road before the bridge.
Yeah.
It takes 15 minutes to get there. That's at least. So if I got a job there where there's nowhere hiring, it'd be still a 30-minute commute there and back every day. And there's nowhere hiring over there. So right now I go an additional 20-some minutes away to go to the gym. This spot is 15 minutes past that. So I'm driving an hour just to get there, and then an hour to get back.
Get home, yeah.
Fuck that.
Every day. Not only are you burning time, but you're burning gas.
Yeah.
You're burning through a limited supply of what you have to get more.
Yeah, and what's...
It doesn't make sense.
And what's 15 minutes this way? Vero. But like actual Vero, not...
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go over another bridge and then find out where the spots are.
Yeah,
you know, to get over the bridge, that's an additional 10-some minutes.
5-10 minutes, yeah.
Here, I don't know, like I've just been really dumb. Like I've had that tunnel vision, like bullshit of I need to look in Melbourne. No, just go to fucking Vero.
You know the Disney resort's down there, right? There's a Disney resort in Vero Beach.
Yeah, they're a drug test, dude. They're a corporation.
Well, if you get in at Disney, you have the ability to look at like all their job listings, and they're all over the world.
That's
like
true.
Once you're in there, you're in.
I know, but
even if you don't stay past the probationary period that they have, you can still have on your resume. Oh yeah, I worked for Disney, and this is what I did. You know, you're looking for a chef position, right?
No, I don't want to be a chef. I really don't want to.
God damn it.
I fucked up, man.
See, this is what you are Exhibit A in my entire case behind this is why I got out of there. You are Exhibit A. And it's not that I'm upset that I went to college and ended up wanting to leave. It's the fact that I knew that if I stayed any longer, if I committed myself to going through all those steps and burning through all that money, I wouldn't be happy. I would not be doing something that I want to do. Yeah. I wouldn't be doing this right now if I had stayed there.
But I don't know if I would have approached the things that I approached without
what you've learned.
Without what I learned. Because, like, without being in culinary school, like, I was always into, like, conspiracies and philosophy and shit, but I don't know how long it really would have been before I got to understand GMOs. And, like, that's what started all, like, a shit ton of the conscious shit that I've been, like, doing and, like, mindfulness of, like, the body. Like, actually, it was, I mean, I ate white girl healthy, freshman year. Like,
yeah.
I'm eating a fiber bar, yay! I'm eating oatmeal, yeah! This is all healthy.
I'm eating egg whites for breakfast,
yeah! And whole wheat pasta.
And then you look back and it's just like, what the fuck am I doing? Whole wheat? What the fuck, man? Holy shit, a 9-egg omelet at 8:30 at night? Let's do it!
Yeah, man!
Let's stay out until 2:30, get fucking wasted, and then come back and eat all the food.
I'm gonna drink as much as I can in 5 minutes so that I don't have to drink for the rest of the night.
And then have to stumble back to the fucking midnight bus.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the night that I got alcohol poisoning, my one buddy, he was fucked up. And, like, he actually went out with everybody.
Yeah.
And he was on the regular Wildcat bus.
Oh boy. Oh my god.
Nobody was in his general area.
He just
When I heard about that, I was like, dude, that's so fucked up.
That's what $40,000 a year pays for, folks. Cleaning up puke off of $50,000 buses.
Yeah, actually, $100,000 buses.
Really?
And by that, I know it's a joke. Probably like $75,000
buses. It's up there. Yeah.
Well, no, I said 100 because you said 50, and I think each one of them have that Wildcat sticker on it now. Like.
Oh yeah, so those are like $3,000 for just that sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Some bullshit.
And then they spent $100,000 on that fucking statue in Harborside.
Yeah, dude, like, fucking, there are people who want to go to that school that can't afford to. Like, and you're gonna
and they're
get
blowing $100,000 on a fucking statue.
Yeah, like, fucking put that into scholarships, bitch.
Yeah, put it into grants. Put it into just making sure that you have... I mean, their acceptance rate is, what, 83%?
Yeah.
But, like, come on. Your graduation rate is, like, half that. For one class, you have a graduation rate of probably 40 to 60%.
Yeah. Well, here's the hook. Nowhere takes our credits.
Oh, that's right.
So,
once you're in, you have to stay.
You're fucked.
A lot of their business courses, though, some of them transferred. Like, if you went for the culinary and baking, they might have transferred over to maybe, like, Walnut Hill or something like that.
Yeah.
But for their business courses, you could have... I was looking at, when I was doing the accounting stuff, I was looking at getting into maybe, like, NYU or maybe, like, somewhere down here that would, like, accept the credits. But just to go through the application process and
what about
just
FIT?
If I were to go to FIT, I probably would want to get into like aerospace as opposed to business because I want to learn about fucking galaxies and shit.
Yeah, but how into math are you, man?
In high school, I took honors calculus and I graduated with a 13% in it.
What?
That's exactly the look that my mom gave me when I told her how I was graduating that year. She was like, you're graduating, right? I was like, yeah, everything's fine. I passed the state test, so I'm guaranteed graduation no matter what because I was in like the top.
Oh, okay.
I was in like the top 10% of the class for the test taking, which, by the way, if you're worried about test taking, don't. it's a whole bunch of bullshit. And if you do good, they incentivize doing good on it because then they don't have to worry about you paying attention in your regular classes because you could completely flunk like your senior year as long as you pass that standardized test. And that's what I did with calculus because I knew that I would be passing the standardized test easily because I know how to answer questions.
Oh, and then you could say that you took calculus.
Exactly.
You fucking slap fox.
I said I knew I could say that I took honors calculus courses. I could take honors anatomy and physiology. I could say I took all these high-level courses and get like C's and D's in them, and it would still look good because I had already passed the guarantee.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just learning for the sake of learning at that point. I just wanted to know, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what exactly are my cells doing in my body? How did all these like people from the 15 and 1600s figure out how there's a curvature to the Earth? Like that shit was what was interesting to me.
Okay, so sorry, you just mentioned that. And
curvature of the Earth?
Flat Earth people, man. I'm sorry. What?
The easiest argument that I have against that is literally within the past 5 years, there was a guy that jumped from the stratosphere from like 20,000 feet above the Earth. He jumped down and like there was live footage of him doing it, like from his helmet cam. You could watch it online. And you could see the curvature of the Earth. You could see how there was like continents and ocean and clouds and everything. You could see it all. He didn't see anything because he passed out halfway down. Luckily, he regained consciousness. But the people watching were able to see like everything that was going on, and you were able to see all this intense shit and probably have a metaphysical crisis. Because you're looking at something that not everybody gets to see, and we don't necessarily have the cognitive ability to understand yet. And most people can. There's some people out there that are flat Earth people that, they can't quite comprehend that the Earth is round. We have this proof, and this proof, and we have the ability and the scientific reasoning behind it to think this.
I gotta ask a question.
Sure.
So this guy, he fell from the stress. Spaceman.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, what if we sent someone to space?
Okay.
With a parachute.
Okay.
And they were a former Navy SEAL.
Okay.
And they just went like...
Well...
And started going toward the Earth. And they'd slowly gravitate. And they'd slowly get hooked into the atmosphere, and they'd slowly start to... What would happen?
I'm not a scientist, by any means. But once you're in space, there is no gravity. So at that point...
So they're swimming. They're swimming to Earth.
So the first step would be exiting whatever pod or spaceship or craft, whatever you're in. That's the first step. So you're in a spacesuit, you exit your craft. You were saying something?
No. What if you ejected right before you broke that barrier then?
It would be a lot easier.
Okay.
It would be a lot easier on you, and it would be a lot easier on everybody to keep track of you.
But would you be able, like, you'd have a better view than that other guy?
You'd have a better view, but it would be... You're comparing Gala apples to Fiji apples at that point.
I'm comparing Navy SEALs and spacemen to a parachuter.
If you... God damn it.
You know how mentally strong you need to be a combination of a Navy SEAL and an astronaut?
Well, most astronauts are former Air Force anyway. Yeah. They're like commendated medals and everything.
Yeah, but like a SEAL's a SEAL. They gotta do some shit.
They gotta train in police state Israel to be like high level Navy SEALs and stuff.
Yeah.
But with breaking that barrier, essentially what you're doing is once you have that gravity pulled on you, imagine all of the air being sucked out of your body. Not just your lungs, but having
a protective suit.
You're in a protective suit, but that's gonna soften the blow. You're still gonna have all the air ripped out of you because you're gonna have force hitting you from the gravity.
That's where the Navy SEAL part comes in. You know how long those motherfuckers have to hold their breath?
A while, but they still have oxygen tanks.
No, they can fucking do it for minutes, though. Boom! Boom!
The point still stands that you have...
Fuck the Air Force. I'm kidding.
There's still the stress of going through that event. If you have gravity hit you, and it's going to hit you at different points as you get closer to the Earth as well, because the closer you are to the center, the higher the force of the gravity is going to be. If you're 25,000... I said feet. I meant miles. If you're 2,000 miles above the Earth compared to 5,000 miles above the Earth, there's gonna be a lot more gravity at 2,000 than there would be at 5,000, if there is any at all. I'm not thinking of the numbers right now.
Then you have to wear a parachute.
The parachute isn't going to come in handy until you hit the trade winds, until you hit actual actual air currents.
What about a hemp parachute?
Most likely going to disintegrate on you, if I'm being honest. But just until you actually hit an air current, the parachute doesn't mean shit.
Okay.
You're free falling at that point.
Okay.
You're free falling in a spacesuit. Because at that point, the gravity hits you, you're in the spacesuit, you may or may not get knocked unconscious. You may or may not have an aneurysm at that point. You may not live to see the ground. At that point, if you survive, awesome. I hope you're paying attention enough to do all the rest of your shit. Because at that point, after you get the wind knocked out of you, that's when, it's, alright, we gotta focus on getting this shit done.
This is exactly like what Joe Rogan was talking about when he said, when him and Rhonda Patrick were discussing the sauna, and the one guy who died from staying in the sauna for too long when trying to win a competition.
Oh shit, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, but if he would have won, we would have been like, that guy's fucking awesome. But because he died, we're like, that fucking idiot, he couldn't get out of the sauna. Those would be the same responses to this scenario.
Well,
right?
In this scenario, there's, especially in the sauna part, because we know exactly what point that, we know oxygen burns at some point. We know that if you heat oxygen to a certain point, it essentially becomes carbon dioxide.
Is that why it's really difficult to breathe in a fire?
Yes. Because all the oxygen is being sucked out of the room by the fire, and what's coming out of the fire is carbon dioxide.
Yo, okay, cool.
In some cases,
I feel dumb, but that's awesome.
In some cases, it's also carbon monoxide.
Oh yeah,
which,
that's fucking bad.
If that gets into your body, you have maybe 2 minutes. If you're inhaling a consistent flow of it, you have maybe 2 to 5 minutes to live. So
wait, so I have a question. I don't remember if it was carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide. But my one cousin, I won't disclose names, was living the place where Z.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying he or she, but so I'm gonna be that guy.
G. They.
Yeah.
This person.
This one individual.
This non-biological binary entity.
This evolved chimp. Alright, so G's apartment, was living in this apartment that had a leak, I guess, in the gas.
A gas leak, okay.
Well, I don't know if it was gas. I know that it was carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide.
It's probably carbon monoxide. If you have a carbon dioxide leak, you're pretty much okay. we exhale carbon dioxide, so we can blow smoke at each other back and forth and not die.
Dude, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
You saw me light up a bowl before
yes,
this.
Yeah. So, carbon monoxide.
Yes, that's the bad one. Then we have carbon... Yeah, because why the fuck would we have carbon dioxide detectors? Because... Yeah, alright. God damn it, I'm fucking stupid. Alright.
So yeah, carbon monoxide.
Alright, so there's carbon monoxide, man.
Okay.
And...
You're good.
And... Yeah, she was living with it for like 2 weeks. And they would be talking with their mother on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
And... over the course of like a week or 2 weeks, I think it was.
Headaches?
Well, no, just like when she was talking to their mother, the mother was like, "What the fuck's going on?"
Okay.
Like, you're slurring your words. You're like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Like she was really like all over, like just like
sounding drunk almost.
Yeah, exactly. It was like you sound like you're fucking drunk, and. Went to the hospital, found out the department had a monoxide leak.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I didn't pay this much attention in chemistry or biology, but I know carbon monoxide, in that sense, if you're like microdosing that, if you're taking in small amounts over a long period of time, it will mess up your nervous system. It will cause harm like over time.
Right.
Because the way that it gets drawn into the body has something to do with the way that it gets into your lungs, and then from your lungs it gets to your nervous system.
Awesome. Not awesome, but like...
Not awesome, but yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah.
Some shit.
Science.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah, you just tested my knowledge of high school science, and I feel really good still knowing a lot of that. If my science teacher's listening, thank you.
My science teacher's listening, I'm sorry. Listen to the ones where I talk about nutrition. And I use the right science there.
Oh my god. Any other questions you have?
No, top of my head.
So, we were talking about everything that you were doing and stuff like that. Do you want some good news and some updates?
I do. Let us fucking know.
Breaking news regarding Cappuccino Cunnilingus podcast. We will be having our first live show April 2nd at 2 p.m. in Lakeland, Florida at Florida Polytechnic University at Polycon, they're calling it. So if you're in...
Are they polyamorous?
Do not know. I honestly don't know.
Okay.
But like polytechnical schools, like they're...
Oh! Yep.
They're multiple technologies, so lots of smart people there, I hope. Lots of interesting people.
Or lots of dumb people.
I hope not. Or else we're going to get booed off stage in like the first 15 minutes.
Mm.
But yeah, if you're in the area for Polycon, or if you're looking to get in, I think tickets are like $5 or $10 for the entire day. It's a one-day event. They have food trucks there. They're going to have cosplay contests. They're going to have...
I know they were going to have food trucks. That's exciting.
Food truck cosplay contest, AMVs. They're going to be doing movie screenings, a whole bunch of different panels, con floor. Just a normal... It's going to be like a normal Comic-Con, but, you know, with added experience and all that. So if you're in the area, definitely come by our panel. We're going to be there from 2 to 3:30. So come check us out.
should we cosplay?
I have the ability to. I have a couple things. I mean, is there anything that you can put together in like a week and a half?
Yeah, well, I have to decide on it first, but like, I'd be starting from nothing pretty much either way.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I could be the Joker. No, I got rid of my dreads. I could be the Joker though. No, I've already been the Joker. I need a challenge. We'll figure it out.
You can think of something.
Mm-hmm. Well, what would you do?
I have, off the top of my head, I know I have Team Rocket. I have that cosplay all figured out.
Okay.
For anything else, I would have to put a few things together. I know I have the shirt. All I would need is orange scrub pants, and I could do like a Yamcha or Goku from Dragon Ball Z.
Word.
Especially with my hair growing out now. Anything else, I'd probably have to like start looking into prop making.
Does anybody in Dragon Ball Z have my shitty haircut?
Speaking of which, yeah, you did get a new haircut. We could probably figure something out for you.
Okay, no, because I was gonna say, if you're gonna do something, we may as well do something that like coincides, you know, so it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is we're also gonna have a table for the entire day down on the con floor.
Yeah.
So it's.
I have a Chewbacca costume. It's pajamas. There's no pockets. There's fucking ears on the. No, wait. I think there's ears on the hood. That's. I have that.
You could be Chewbacca. I could be. I can't be Luke. I'm not a Nazi poster boy. I could probably. If I looked in my closet, I probably have enough stuff to kind of look like Han Solo, but I don't know. I'll think of. We'll figure it out.
Word.
Yeah. Polycon, April 2nd, 2 to 3:30 is our panel. We're gonna do a live podcast and talk to some people and have a good time. And then that's you. What?
No, never mind.
Oh,
I thought of something, but it doesn't need to be on here.
Oh, okay. Another thing, we're also looking at maybe the week or weekend of Space Coast Nerd Fest. I want to do another live podcast
Where
around
would
here.
that take place?
Depends.
Well, just because around the corner I see Space Coast Credit Union.
Mm-hmm.
I go to Space Coast CrossFit, but that's 45 minutes away. Like, what is this range of Space Coast?
Space Coast is the area most commonly known as Brevard County, Florida.
Okay.
Brevard County ranges all the way from Titusville all the way down to Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
Space Coast is primarily known to be Space Coast for Cape Canaveral, which is in Brevard County.
Yeah, I know that. But like, I was just wondering how broad that spectrum was, because Space Coast Nerdfest, that could be anywhere within this broad spectrum.
Anywhere in a 50-mile radius, yeah. Well, Space Coast Nerdfest takes place here in Melbourne.
Okay, rad. Okay.
They're hosting the event at the Hilton on Beachside.
Okay.
They're going to have what they're calling a mashing grounds, which is essentially a Renaissance fair area. They're going to have horses and like pirate stuff set up.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
Pirate?
They're going to have a pirate ship and everything, so.
I'm excited.
For those that don't know, Mitch has facial hair that resembles Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm assuming you also have a thing for pirates and the lifestyle behind that?
Yes.
Okay.
Except, while I do not eat much fruit, I will not let myself get scurvy. That's where the lifestyle differs. I will eat enough fruit to not get scurvy.
Well, it's not that they didn't eat enough fruit. They didn't have the access to it.
I know.
Like, there was just a lack of it. like where they were sailing,
No.
and just
They just hated it. Fuck bananas!
I don't know about you. I would like eat the shit out of some bananas.
Yo,
if
I
I was
would-
stuck at sea for like 3.5 months,
I would too.
I would eat the fuck out of some bananas.
I would too, but how do you know pirates had a taste for it?
Because we still grow them today.
If a tree falls in the forest, there's no one around. Does it make a sound?
Does a bear shit in the woods?
I had a perfect reaction to that, but it's actually like I can't say it.
No, but
No, because we went to upstate New York once, and
you watched a bear shit in the woods.
no, I forget how it exactly went. I think my aunt said she had to go to the bathroom, but like instead she went outside, and then someone asked, "Oh, does a bear shit in the woods?" And my one uncle was like, "No, but Aunt, I'm not gonna say her name, does." And I was like, so like I could have said it here, but it would have made no sense. But I said it anyway. Fuck you.
No, but Space Coast Nerd Fest. It's a weekend. I don't have a calendar in front of me. It's either the 16th and 17th or 17th and 18th.
I'm gonna look that up right now.
It's a Saturday and Sunday. Like I said, Pirates, Renaissance Fair area,
16th and 17th.
16th, 17th. Most likely, I would love to do something Saturday night because there's a lot of people that are going to be in the area for that. I remember...
I have to do a CrossFit WOD in my cosplay.
wear something comfortable.
Because I feel like that'll just be fun.
We could set you up as Mario. You could be Mario. I could be like Donkey Kong or something.
Yeah. And that's an outfit that I can be able to like do things with. Chewbacca one I could do, but it'd be hot as fuck.
Yeah, you'd be sweltering in that.
Be like a sauna suit. I could do Murph in it. Alright, sorry.
No, what is this thing? Pirates Ren Fair. There's going to be media and cosplay guests. As far as I remember Liz from episode 3, the cosplayer interviewed. She said she would be attending. So if run into her, I'd love to sit down with her. And
Hell yeah, she sounded like cool people.
yeah, she's fun. She's amazing. If she's listening, so hi Liz.
Yo!
Yeah, I'd love to do another podcast like that where we're just sitting down with like everybody behind us and just taking in everything and just having a good time. Like, I feel like that's how the live show is going to be. But I would love to do another live show that weekend as well. So if this one goes well and we get it up and we have the ability to show it to people, like where they'll let us do a live show in the area for that night, I'm sure we could work something out. But Space Coast Nerd Fest coming up, PolyCon next Saturday. So
Word. How's your show?
oh yeah, that was the other good news I had. Tomorrow I'm sitting down and talking with an investor and trying to figure out how we're going to go about getting funding for the show and maybe even try to secure some things so that way we have a general idea of going forward from here.
Hell yeah.
I haven't written a lot lately. I've been more focused on doing the podcast and trying to just make content for this as opposed to sitting down and writing.
And doing stand-up.
And doing stand-up. That was just so that way I could, like... I wanted to do stand-up more so that way I could get into... I can make a name for myself and start bringing the podcast into that.
True shit.
So that way we could do more of like a Kill Tony style stuff. And
That makes sense. It'll be fun.
just do stuff like that. But with the show, it would be more getting people in, having people come in and like staying committed, and it would probably be a couple months worth of shooting. I doubt if we did get everything together for it, I'd want to shoot the entire first season, like all in one go. I don't want to
Break it
do
up.
8 episodes here and 8 episodes. I want it all filmed just one go and just make it and get it out to people as soon as possible, because once it's out there, I think it'll do a lot better than having it sitting on paper.
I feel that, yeah.
There's more to the story than what is on paper, and I feel the only way to tell that is
with
on
the imagery.
film. Yeah. I mean, I'm not an artist by any means, and I'm also not a writer by any means.
See, here's the fucking thing that bothers me. Everybody who does something is an artist, man. Mm-hmm. It's how you define what art is. Mm-hmm. But like, if you you can't nail down what the ideal human expression is. But what you can do is like look at that ideal, like that ultimate human expression as passion. So, because that's what that expression is for that person. So that is their uber human expression. But it's not yours, it's not theirs, it's not someone else's, it's fucking theirs.
It's bringing stuff to a medium, though, that everybody can understand and relate to.
Exactly.
That is the goal with something like this.
No, I get that. I'm just saying, like, fucking anybody who works at a craft is an artist. So like, you can't be like you're busting your ass doing this shit. You can't be like, I'm not an artist. No, because you are. It's just not the fucking painter. It's not the fucking photographer. You have a different art that you practice. It's not the chef, it's not the baker, whatever. You're doing different shit.
I don't know. I guess I'm still like stuck in the traditional sense of this is what art is and this is how it is expressed, and you know, these are your mediums. I know. Well, it's also podcasting is a medium that art can be expressed by, and by that sense, yes, I do consider myself a podcast artist at that point. But I don't consider myself a director or an editor. I don't consider myself.
See, I wouldn't consider an editor or a director necessarily the artist behind it.
You would consider like the actors and the people like doing the work behind the scenes.
Even the cinematographers. More than the directors. Because what's a director doing?
Making sure everybody's doing their job.
Yeah, which has already been established. And they're reading their screenplay, which was written by somebody else. So what the fuck? Why does that matter so much?
Having a director that understands the material and is able to make you make choices that you might not see is the deeper work of a director.
Okay, and that's cool. I understand and respect that work. But I wouldn't think of that, like, you're saying those are the artists. I wouldn't think of that as being the artful part behind a movie.
Oh, no. The entire movie itself is the artwork. It's everybody that's attached to that are the artists, whether it be an actor, cinematographer, editor, writer, director.
So, by you writing for a show, how are you not an artist? Motherfucker!
I'm just really self-critical and have...
Exactly! And that's a good thing to be. That's a fucking good thing to be. That's like our conversation about having to earn respect for yourself. From yourself, sorry, not for yourself.
Well, self-respect and like self-love and stuff like that. Like, I feel like you can't have one without the other. It's a two-way street at that point. You have to have one, and the other will be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, sitting down, trying to figure out where we're going to move forward from here. Once we do have a general idea of the next step and how we're going to get there, I want to sit down and start writing again. I have the next 3 episodes like pre-planned written.
Yeah.
and
you have an outline.
I have an outline, yeah. Getting those out and fleshing them out and getting a final product out of those is the next step in that side. And then writing outlines for the last episodes of the season, like, would be after that.
Okay.
And I have everything is up here. Everything I've been rattling around in my brain for the longest time now.
So you just need to sit the fuck down and do it. You got rainy day. A rainy day off.
On a rainy day, we're podcasting. But just any time that I want to sit down, like when I write, I don't write because I want to. I write because I feel inspired to. Like having the inspiration, having somebody else's art inspire me to go make my art. That is how I get to writing.
I understand that.
I know most writers or most directors or whoever they are, they can sit down and just be like, all right, I wrote 60 pages worth of script today. I'm going to smoke a bowl and call it a night. I'll see you guys in the morning. I'll write another 25 pages tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have that drive. I've never been motivated to the point where I was like, I need to get this done right now. I've never been put in a position where it was, I need to do this and have this done by this time. Because in school, I never took writing seriously.
Mm-hmm.
I never wrote a single paper in high school. I never wrote any final exam or, any, 3-page essay. I never wrote any of those. If I did hand them in, they were 100% plagiarized. It was complete copy and paste, maybe a few added words.
And you want to have teachers on here.
I'm willing to admit that I have a problem. I'm not saying that they should condone it, but I'm saying that some of them understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
Some of them know that I have the ability to take all the information in. I just don't have the ability to express it back.
I understand.
The ability to talk about stuff, I could do that all day.
Yeah.
That's why podcasting works so well.
Fucking hell yeah.
But just sitting down and writing, to me, that is a phenomenal feat for myself because I essentially never learned how to write creatively because I was always like, this isn't going to matter. It's not worth enough of my grade for it to matter, so I'm just not going to do it.
One trick that one teacher taught me that's maybe helpful for you, just for the sake of creative writing. Like, doesn't have to be about your show or anything.
Mm-hmm.
She picked one sentence, like not even a full sentence. Or no, I think it was, one sentence, and that was your starting point.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 5 other people,
mm-hmm.
and what we would all do is we would all start with that sentence, and then just go. And at the end, you'd read yours out loud, and you'd see the different stories that everybody got from the same starting point. And that's a really good way to condition yourself to think creatively. And then when you're hearing other people, it'd be like, okay, I could have taken this approach. I could have taken that approach. I like the way that I approached it better than these, but these are really interesting too.
Mm-hmm.
Try that shit. Just for fucking fun. Because, my negotiations class that I had recently,
mm-hmm.
he showed us a game, and I was like, this is if I still drank alcohol, this would be the best fucking drunk game in the world.
What's the game?
It's called the $2 game.
Okay.
So,
explain.
You create a scenario where both people are trying to get the $2. You want to get as much of the $2 as you can fucking get.
Is it in change, dollar bills? What is it?
Just as much of the $2.
Okay.
Whatever. You can get $1.20.
Mm-hmm.
But, so, they'll set up different scenarios. So, you need this much, you're willing to go this low. And this is the scenario that you have to play with, and then you just act. And then the other side is, okay, you have the $2, but you need it to do this, 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 and this. So
mm-hmm.
you need to walk away with at least this much. And
you're essentially learning how to be a drug addict. You're essentially learning how to be like a fucking meth head.
No, it's fun though.
I'll suck your dick for $2 worth of meth, Black Dynamite. $2. Come on, man. $2. $2 and I'll give you my puppy, man.
No, but yeah, for real. Like, I feel like that game, just from watching, like the different approaches to it and then being involved with it, I feel like it'd be great to be drunk and play that game.
Oh yeah. Any type of game where you're trying to like get the most out of something, like once you get to the point in Monopoly where like all of the properties are owned, at that point it becomes a trading game. It becomes a game of, all right, how can I get this property and how can I make this much off of going around the board one time? So it becomes a game of trading the cash and the properties to make sure you end up out on top. And you might not end up out on top. You might end up in second.
Evil.
What?
Monopoly.
It's evil?
Yeah.
Monopoly's fun. What are you talking about?
I never played it.
Oh my god. I remember this one time.
I just think about the concept of...
You got the concept of a Monopoly and it makes you mad?
Yeah.
I remember this
you
one...
can send people to jail. Fuck you.
No prison can hold me.
Yeah.
I remember this one time I was playing Monopoly with, let's just call her Cuntface. Let's call this person Cuntface. I already said her. It's a she.
Do I know this person?
No.
Okay.
Although,
because I don't know the code word for the cunt face that we know.
Nick knows exactly who I'm talking about. So if he's listening, he'll probably say something to me later. I remember I was playing Monopoly with Cuntface, and it was during we were junior year of high school at that point.
Okay.
So that summer, there was a really bad rainstorm, like almost hurricane level rainstorm that happened, and me and Cuntface were hanging out. And it was getting like to late at night, and like the roads were flooded. There was no way to like really drive anywhere. So like,
did her cunt ride your face?
No. What had happened was I was staying over. We were just gonna like have lunch and hang out, and just have a date, like kind of like a date day.
Then you got stranded.
And then I got stranded. So. Essentially, like no cars could get in or out of. I won't name the town, because then it'd probably be a dead giveaway. So we were stuck in the house, and the rest of the family that was there, nice people. I just don't like Cuntface. We sat down and
you did at that point in time, though.
Semantics. At that point, we had sat down and we were like, all right, what do we have? And there was like, we have these puzzles, we have Trouble, Connect 4, and Monopoly. And I instantly jumped on Monopoly. I was like, let's play Monopoly. It'll get us to like 2 a.m, and we probably won't even finish at that point. And it was like 6, 7 o'clock at night right then and there. So we were playing Monopoly and probably till like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and then everybody like started like wanting to be like, yeah, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. So eventually, it was just down to me and Cuntface playing. Like we had like at that point like the pieces like were evenly distributed. # socialism.
Yeah, I was just about to say
the pieces were evenly distributed against like the players that stayed in. So at that point, it was between me and Cuntface to figure out what was going to happen. After, I think it was 11 o'clock, probably, when, like close to midnight, I would say, when we both were looking at each other and we were just like, I think it's probably a good time to call it and just forget about it. And then comment was made. I don't know. I don't remember if it was me or if it was Cunface that made it, but the comment was made, and I got so mad that I immediately just wiped the board clean and was just like, "We're not doing this right now." And at that moment, I realized that I had just spent 5.5 hours, like 6 hours worth of time, playing a game, and then doing something so stupid that I immediately regretted doing it because I invested so much time into doing something so menial. Just, oh my god, it was terrible. And I didn't even get laid that night. Like, just on top of just...
Yeah, she wasn't on top.
No. Because all the fucking floorboards in the house creaked. Just having invested so much time into that, I immediately just did not want to have to deal with
it. It monopolized on your night.
No.
What? You invested all that time. It monopolized the amount of time that you could allocate that night. You're playing Monopoly. It had control. It had main purpose.
Sure. I'll give you that one.
All right.
I don't know how to respond. I don't know how to respond to you. Your brain is fucked up to me. Sometimes I really don't understand you. But yeah, that was my Monopoly story.
Word.
Oh my god. What were we talking about?
No. But actually, because we said that, and you're doing stand-up now, last year when I was living with, you ever meet Graham Koletsky? He did.
Grant or Graham?
Graham.
Graham? Sounds familiar.
He was Isaiah's roommate.
Okay.
He had a beard.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait, did he have a beard freshman year? Yeah, he had a beard freshman year. Yeah, she shaved it like twice though. So we were talking about stand-up comedy and weed, and I can't remember who said it. But I'll say it was him just because I don't want to say it was me. Was like, stand up. There should be a stand up. Like there should be a thing, like a bit where a guy who's always stoned goes up and does stand up, and oh no, it should be two guys. And they're both stoned. And one's writing down everything that the other one's saying. Yeah. So then when the one guy stops and is like, what the fuck was I talking about? You can look over it. And he'd be like, yeah. But like, because he's stoned, he'd be like, I don't fucking know. But he's supposed to be documenting everything.
One of my favorite podcasts, the Nerdist podcast, Chris Hardwick has 2 interns that help him produce the show, along with his co-hosts. The one intern, I think his name's Kyle. Basically, his job during the entire podcast is just write down everything. Just document every single major point that was said, and maybe 1 or 2 sentences about it. And just over time, he's probably filled maybe a dozen notebooks, probably, of just in interviews.
Well, they're long interviews, man.
Hour 15 minutes, yeah. Talking with somebody for an hour and 15 minutes about just their career and what they've done outside of their stage life and stuff is incredible. How much a person does.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I think I ate too much.
Yeah, I ate more than you. No,
I think I ate more than you.
Well, wait. Well, I had breakfast before you got here.
I had a Twix bar for breakfast.
Word. I had probably a little bit more than a cup of Greek yogurt, 4 tablespoons of this nut butter that I make, a bunch of kale, a bunch of cabbage, some butter, grass-fed, cinnamon, and then this whey collagen blend, and then this like chocolate plant-based nutrition shake. Like there's some of that shit in there. And fucking 2 raw eggs. Mixed that. And then had a protein shake. Well, like coconut milk, and then whey and collagen, and some of the other shit. And that whatever the like piece of chicken, like the big piece of chicken with the rice and the vegetables, like some sweet potato, and that half of a protein bar.
Yeah, you ate more than me today. How do you stay so small? I'll give you that one. Oh, that's what we're talking about. We were talking about Monopoly and how I got mad.
Oh, word. Yeah.
Speaking of monopolies and getting mad, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I had commented on this yesterday. Like I posted something online, and then I had just shown it to you a little bit earlier. There was a group of students at Emory University, and this group of students were quoted as being upset, afraid, and triggered when they walked outside of their dorms and classes and found Donald Trump propaganda drawn all over like the common grounds and stairwells, like the bottom of the stairs and stuff, written in chalk, like all this Donald Trump propaganda. And they were outraged. I'm assuming that this university is a very liberal university.
Oh my god, bro, it really is. I have a friend who went there. She graduated last year. Like last year was her last year.
Ah, okay.
And yeah, it's
Is she a women's studies major?
No, she I believe English.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But just from like stories I had heard and like other people, and like I was like, okay, like this is a pretty liberal spot. Yeah.
Yeah. And so these students got mad and decided that they wanted to have a protest.
See, like, I thought liberals were supposed to be liberal and open-minded and this person, they did this, but it's okay because that's their perspective, and they felt insecure enough that they had to project this upon us. Instead, they're like, "Oh, fuck you, man! Oi!"
Maybe if they paid more attention in English class, they'd have a better vocabulary, would know how to express themselves better.
Probably. Yeah.
But
I can't answer that phone call.
We'll talk later. But like, as anybody can like figure out and like understand, like having support for a presidential candidate and acting upon what that candidate says or stands for or something like that are two completely separate things. You can fly a Confederate flag from the back of your pick-em-up truck. And
so many people do that here. Oh my god.
You can fly that fucking flag all day. You can say how much you love God and how Jesus Christ is your savior and just all this nonsense. And just say that, you're going to vote for Donald Trump if he wins, because at this point nobody even knows if he's going to win.
I don't know, man. I don't want to.
But I'm
just like anybody right now.
Just the fact that the writing down of propaganda is enough to make somebody angry. And it's not like it was real vandalization, like where it was written in like spray paint or like, you know, like painted or like done anything like on walls or like across doors or anything like that. It was done on bricks and then on like sidewalk and concrete and chalk. All you need is fucking water.
Yeah, like if it rained today.
Get a water bottle and just throw it out on the ground.
No, are you kidding me, man? You can't just throw it out on the ground, bro.
We'll pick it up after.
That's gonna fuck up the earth, man.
We'll pick it up after.
Alright.
But like, squeeze it and throw like the water across the ground and stuff, and you solve your problem. Like, there's a simple solution to that, and you...
Water is the solution.
Water is the solution to your problems, folks. Like, there's such an easy way to go about just dealing with that, as opposed to, like, just making something worse than it already is. Like, you don't have to be a little bitch. You can go out of your way, go to a bathroom, take your hemp plastic water bottle, and fill it with water and go back and forth in and out and just like spread water on the ground. You don't have to be.
But the fishes.
Where is Emory University? Because I'll dispute the fact that those fish are dead anyway. Atlanta-ish. I'll dispute the fact that whatever tributary rivers are there are probably just polluted already.
Yo, so what the fuck right now with the Indian River?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many dead fish.
I sent you that picture the other day.
Yeah. I heard it's the algae. Is that accurate?
Well,
also fertilizer.
On Joe's most recent podcast with Adam that guy, he was talking about how like the oceans were acidifying and there was less oxygen in.
Yeah, I heard the same thing happen here.
It's essentially the same thing, except it's also the algae is starting to die. So there's no oxygen production happening in the water. So the fish are essentially just breathing in carbon dioxide. Like there's no oxygen, or there's a limited supply of oxygen in the water, and it's down towards like the bottom, because that's where all the plant life would be.
Yeah. So
at this point, it's becoming unstable. And
like what the fuck can we do?
That picture I showed you, those were all catfish, I believe. It was in like a little marina with like hundreds upon hundreds of catfish were just belly up. Like they weren't breathing, they were all dead.
Yeah.
Like that boat would not have been able to go down. Like it would have been going right onto all those catfish. Basically what's happening is we've come to a point in like, I don't want to say geographical, but we've come to a point globally where the oceans are becoming toxic. And it's not from radioactive waste or biological waste or anything like that. It's just the simple fact that the climate is changing. The world is getting hotter every single day across years. And there's a recent study or article that was put out. We are, 20 million pounds per square inch of carbon dioxide output over. Like we're producing way more carbon dioxide than any other point in time.
Yeah, but fucking Randall Carlson said that there's like the amount of carbon that's in the air isn't excessive. Because if you look at it, forests have been growing and thriving, and what do plants feed off of? Carbon dioxide.
But it's not just the carbon dioxide they feed off of, it's like essential minerals and nutrients in the ground.
Yeah.
Hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom.
What? This kid's gonna piss? Oh. Talk amongst myself. All Alright. How am I doing today, Gary Busey? We're doing great! So... See this article? It's entitled, Eat Like a Japanese Person. If you want to live longer. All you gotta do, once this article loads, I can tell you.
What about Japanese people?
Oh, well, Eat Like a Japanese Person If You Want to Live Longer by Nick Rose. Probably Rose, but...
Omega-3s.
Yeah.
That's a secret.
It says, the average life expectancy in Japan is 83 years and the obesity rate is in the ballpark of 3 to 5%.
And they also have the life expectancy, like, increasing, like, every year.
Yeah.
Like, it's not dwindling, it's increasing. But somehow, like, whatever they're doing to make sure that their old people are being taken care of, and it's solvent, whatever it is. I don't know if it's Social Security or I don't know what it is over there.
They exercise and they drink tea, bro.
No, I meant but once you're like 70, like, and you don't work anymore, like what in Japan, like what do you get? Like, is there?
Oh well, I'm reading this right now. All it's talking about is food, but like
because like if you're 70 in America, like you have maybe 10 more years at that.
Yeah.
Depending on where you live and what necessarily goes on in your body.
You didn't go into that. I was just trying to stall until you got back from peeing.
So wait, we were talking about the catfish and the water.
River, yeah.
But you were saying something about how carbon dioxide wasn't at a deadly point yet. Okay, that's funny.
In the air, no. Like, there's less in, like, yes, we're expelling a lot of carbon, but it's not getting trapped in the ozone layer. It's not just lingering in the air, because forest growth has increased.
Forest growth has increased, and the ocean is taking a lot of it in.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem is. Like, there's way too much of it being absorbed there.
Yeah.
And if the trend that keeps happening continues, essentially the effects that we're going to see, like the ones that are happening right now, you're going to see mass death of different species of fish, depending on where they live and like depth. You're going to see lots of red tides. You'll see shellfish, any form of shellfish will start to go extinct. They'll be dying in the millions, and most likely they're like washing ashore or being consumed post-mortem, like in the sea. So you're going to have lots of like sharks and other types of fish that'll be having to figure out what the fuck's going on with their diet.
Yeah.
And the type of food that they're eating, which will correlate back to us in the sense that we have to watch what we're eating because they're eating dead, unformed shellfish, essentially. Mm-hmm. So whatever toxins they're taking in, we would be taking in.
Yep, that's fucked. God damn it.
And it's all because people decided that the world wasn't worth saving.
Legalize hemp! 2016!
It's not just that, man. We have to fucking...
Put hemp nets in the ocean!
Not even that. It's a whole bunch of shit. We have to get rid of nuclear power. We have to get rid of fossil fuel production. We have to just completely change how the world runs. Just to make a significant impact, and to make a significant impact 40 years from now. We have to stop all these things like yesterday.
This is for the past like year. I've been really, really, really into this fucking thought about how civilization is not fucking sustainable at all.
It's not. What we're doing right now is not sustainable.
No.
No
form of civilization.
The amount of consumption that is done, and the amount of food and just essential things that are being wasted is not sustainable. We're not. All of the vegetables and fruit that are, being wasted in garbage dumps, they could be turned into compost. Mm-hmm. All the paper products, everything like that, could be turned into compost, put back into the earth, keep the ground fresh. I mean,
yeah. Right now we have fucking. We have less nutrient dense food right now is because we never replenish our soil with minerals, so it just grows less nutritious food.
The result of that will be the same thing that happened back in the early 1900s. It's going to be another Dust Bowl, where essentially
there are already food deserts, bro.
There are already food deserts, but on a grander scale than before, because they've moved away from those areas because they've essentially turned into real deserts now. Yeah. And now you're talking about, Midwestern America, where, Kansas, Nebraska, parts of like Colorado, Wyoming, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Tennessee, like all of that, like your farm area where all your corn and wheat and everything grows, within 10 or 15 years, that's if we don't take care of that land, if we keep spraying it with pesticides, if we keep putting cancer-causing chemicals in the ground and on our food,
California officially declared glyphosate as a carcinogen.
I thought it was glyphosate.
I thought it was glyphosate.
Whichever way, it's officially glyphosate. Glysophate. I'm probably saying it wrong. You're looking it up?
Yeah. There's glyphosate. Okay. Glyphosate is a broad spectrum herbicide.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's glyphosate. Wait.
Glyphosate.
So what the fuck?
Essentially, that stuff has been essentially given people that have been trying to eat better and have been trying to make a better... What?
So I'm really dumb. I keep fucking up words today.
How do words good, man? I mean, just everybody that has been trying to make a better choice in life by eating healthier, by eating fresher food, by trying to contribute to sustainable living on our planet, have essentially been fed cancer. Like they've been putting cancerous material in their body when they've been trying to avoid putting it into their body. And the fact that now that at least one state, and one of the biggest states, like when it comes to fruit production with grapes and wine, and I think doesn't California have like apples and stuff too, or oranges?
Oh, dude, they grow fucking everything because they have like an all growing it's always a growing season, so they grow like everything.
Yeah,
just depends on the area that you go to.
Yeah, so like everything that grows there, like they can no longer use a cancer-causing product. And there are products out there that have existed already. It's existed for years that did not have this in it, and they were doing just fine. The fact that they have to keep revamping these things because of what they're doing, like the types of plants that they are putting into the ground, they have to spray these chemicals on them because if they don't, essentially they're not going to grow the way that they want them to. So where did we go wrong with having to put pesticides on things to make them grow, as opposed to keeping like crabgrass and insects and stuff like that as a way to keep them away from the food?
Too many people wanted to have sex.
Everybody wants to have sex.
No, I'm just saying too many people have wanted to.
Everybody wants to.
Well, now we have a really large population, so they were like, "Hey, man, if we want to keep up, we gotta do some shit to make this grow better." Because what's one of the biggest problems with organic right now? Yield.
Why not find places on Earth that are like that have good soil then, and just exploit the fuck out of it?
Egypt used to be green as fuck.
Yeah,
I
remember learning this in middle school. Yeah. Egypt, instead of, and that's what's happening now.
Exactly.
If it's green now, give it time, it'll be a desert.
Well, that's why I'm like, well, you just said, why don't we just find a spot and exploit it? We've done a history of that, and Egypt is what happens.
But exploit it and take care of it, as opposed to just exploiting it. Over time, that's what's happened.
Well, what did Macedonia do? Because they had they had vertical gardens, they had hanging gardens.
They also had aqueducts.
Yeah, like they had a lot of shit, and they fucked up.
I think it was just the size. Like they weren't able to keep control over Macedonia ranged from Turkey to India, man.
Yeah, that's I know.
Over 5,000 miles, like just directly across. Like fucking Silk Road, man. Like,
yeah.
That was that.
Yeah.
I want to say Alexander the Great had from Greece or Rome to India. Like that was like he managed that. Like so Macedonia, even on that scale, like they also their area also was they have like mountains and stuff like just randomly in the middle of it. Like I mean, U.S. you could say the same thing, but between our mountains, we have this really fertile grassland. Over there, they didn't really have that. It was just mountainous area.
But what kind of mountain? Like, that's the question. Because, like, you go to the Andes Mountains in Peru, and that's where quinoa grows. Wildly. And because of the harsh conditions, it's like people in Peru eat quinoa and view it as a source of vitality because it's had to grow. It passes vitality on to you when you eat it. I don't eat it anymore because I don't really do grains, but I'm not opposed to it. But so let's say because the Andes Mountains have such harsh fucking weather, like they'll have dry spells followed by wet seasons, followed by dry spells, followed by wet seasons.
The extreme climate.
Yeah. So what quinoa actually does, like how it evolved to live, like, which is so fucking cool that plants evolve. Like I love it. Like that's the whole concept of anti-nutrients in food. It's their defense mechanism against being eaten, and that's why it fucks with our bodies. But,
like pineapple.
Yeah, but like so, well, and fucking legumes and grains and fucking apple seeds.
Apple seeds, really?
Yeah, well, apple seeds have fucking what is it? Cyanide.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a defense mechanism. So, wait, what was I saying? Fuck.
Anti-nutrients, quinoa.
Quinoa. So quinoa doesn't have, as far as I know, it doesn't have anti-nutrients, but I don't know. I only fucking know that it's gluten-free because it's not actually a grain. It's the seed of the quinoa plant, which is a relative of the spinach family. Sorry. But, so, like, it grows, and when it stops raining, it doesn't die, it just stays at whatever level it's at.
Does the plant itself hold the water and disperse over time?
I don't know.
Because that's essentially what a cactus is. Like, when it rains, a cactus absorbs as much water as it can, and then disperses it evenly over time.
That makes sense. That's probably what it does.
And I would assume because cacti. Can't word today.
A gaggle of cacti.
Essentially, like, with that, you know, if you're talking about, like, in a desert where, like, there's hardly ever any rain.
Yeah.
As opposed to a rainy season and a dry season. You're talking about almost 90% dry season.
That's true. Yeah, all I know, though, is that, like, when it rains, they grow, and then when it doesn't rain, they hold their spot. And, like they're able to survive those conditions so that they can thrive in the other conditions. So like it's supposed to be like a thing that they pass that level of vitality on to you when you eat it.
That could also be like a spiritual thing.
Oh no, absolutely, because that's a very spiritual part of the earth. But that's just still interesting that the plant does that.
And we see that, but we see that in cacti. It's not just.
Yeah, but most people don't know that quinoa does that, so that's why I brought up the fucking point.
Well, now 10 people know.
Yeah.
But what about like let's say in Asia, are there any plants that, because some places in Asia, like I would say Mongolia, there's the desert. Is there any plants like out that way that would have the same type of effect?
I don't know.
Because I feel like if it was, because you're talking about Peru and I'm talking about just deserts in general.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I take the CrossFit approach to everything. I know a little bit of...
I know a good amount about everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know a lot. I don't know everything about one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
An inch deep and a mile wide. My dad tells me that I should be an inch wide and a mile deep. I prefer the other.
Hashtag Lone Dick style.
Yeah. That's funny.
Oh man. I was thinking about this the other day. There's comedians out there right now that they're gonna die and they're no longer gonna be around to tell funny stories anymore. And like the stuff that they've experienced, unless they tell like their entire life story, those stories die.
Well, two things. That wasn't one of them. Fuck. I forget what the first one was. Here, just go continue, I'm sorry.
No, that's all I had to say.
Well, I was gonna say, one thing, this was the second thing, but I'll say it first.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they record comedy specials, though.
But you can't put everything in a 1 hour special.
Well, I'm just saying multiple specials. Like, Tom Segura has like 4 or 5. Like,
yeah, but there's...
If you make a career out of coming out with, or at least recording it, or podcasting, or doing something, that's a way that you're forever documented. Yeah, forever documented. So, like, you're not necessarily forever relevant, but if someone looks back, they have the ability to check out what you did. Oh, and the first thing I was going to say was, I saw this meme the other day that was like, if you found out you were dying, would you be nicer? Would you, like, would make better choice? Like, it gave, like, all these scenarios that, like, if people were dying, they'd typically be like, yeah, you know, no. I have to turn my life around. I want to do this, this, and this. But then I ended it with, like, well, you are. We all are. So I just like to keep that conscious. Everybody's gonna die. Everybody is dying. It's a fight the entire fucking time.
I was wondering if you were gonna go that way. I was just like, but wait, we're all dying.
Yeah, exactly.
I would still do the same stuff because I already do everything that I want to anyway.
Yeah.
If I can afford to do it, or if it's available to do when I want to, it's getting done.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in changing that because I'm already doing what I want.
Sure shit.
Oh my god. Where are we anyway?
I don't know.
Hour 30?
34. Word.
We could end it here.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything else.
I mean, not right now, but, like, I feel like we could have another one in a few days and, like, it wouldn't be a problem. Like
Well,
in terms of material is what I mean.
That, like our next one is going to be the live show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's less than 10 days away.
Yeah. Well, immediately, I don't have anything that like I can think of talking about, but like, give me a few days.
No freak bitches hitting you up.
Oh no, man. Bitches don't like me. I got to train my friend the other day, and that was fun. She's a girl, so like, wasn't a freak bitch hitting me up, but like,
hanging out with.
Yeah, I hung out with someone of the opposite sex the other day. Yes, that was quite an experience.
Oh my god! All right, well, on that note, thanks for listening, everybody, and what did I say again? It was April 2nd? April 2nd?
Because that's the day that we were going to do a beach wad at Space Coast, but now I don't have to go. Because I fucking hate swimming, and they were going to make me swim.
You don't like swimming?
I hate water, bro. Fuck that shit.
You are such an interesting little person.
I hate water so much. I really do.
Oh my god. Yeah. So, April 2nd, Lakeland, Florida, Florida Polytechnic University. Looks like it's going to be our first live podcast, hopefully in front of a large audience.
Yeah.
So, if you're listening, or if you know anybody that goes to FPU, or you go to FPU yourself, definitely come check it out. I want to say it's free entry to students, and then anybody from the outside, it's like $5 or $10. So, food trucks, podcasts, movies, whole bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah.
All right, that was Cappuccino Cunnilingus episode 7.
Have a lovely day, y'all.
Later, you freak bitches.